Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your daily Arsenal transfer roundup, where we dive into the biggest stories around Arsenal in the last 24 hours. Today has been a very good day around the club as we have confirmed the signing of another player. Norgaard signs for Arsenal from Brentford. He's going to be wearing shirt number 16 and the fee is 15 million euros. It is done. It is dusted. We also have an update on Gyökeres. Arsenal are hoping that Gyökeres is the next player to do medicals and get that announcement as the fourth signing of the summer. Before we progress to Madueke, we'll talk about him. Rodrigo, we'll talk about him. Eze, we'll talk about him as well. So why not hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into what Arsenal have been busy doing in the last 24 hours, because it seems like we've been quite busy. So let's start off with this man, Norgaard. He has signed for Arsenal. Of course, you can see him there with Andre Bata at the Arsenal HQ. And of course, they're right there with the Arsenal coaching staff, right here with Mikel Arteta. And right there, putting up that shirt number 16. 16 is one of my favorite shirts at Arsenal, to be honest. It's a shirt that has been worn by Aaron Justin Ramsey. And I don't want to sound a little bit braggative, but Ramsey is one of my favorite Arsenal players. And I grew up watching Ramsey, and I grew up appreciating Arsenal with this Ramsey guy who was very reliable. Didn't score a lot of goals in a season like 20 or 30, but he would always be very reliable until the time Arsenal decided not to give him a contract and walk away. But Norgaard is a signing, obviously, at 31, that is going to provide Arsenal with a couple of things that a layman is not going to tell you about, a layman is not going to talk about. And number one is the experience that Norgaard actually brings with him from Brentford. Premier League proven. He is 31, and with this Arsenal team being so young, you need players that can, show them around. You need players that can, be a point of guidance. I also think that the Norgaard signing is intentional rather than speculative. I think Mikel Arteta, if I remember, it was said that Mikel Arteta said, I want Norgaard because he is Premier League ready. And that is the genius of the manager we have. Obviously, it's made some bad decisions, but if you're signing a player like Martin Zubimendi, no, there is nothing I have against Martin Zubimendi. He's a great player, great guy. But what if it takes some time to adapt to the league? That's what Mikel Arteta is saying. We need to be running at quick speed, and we need to add a few weights onto the load, right? And of course, that is going to slow you down a little bit for you to get used to the weight and then move on again at maximum speed. So he's saying, let me bring in Norgaard. He's one player that is Premier League ready. And when you look at what Brentford do at under Thomas Frank and what Arsenal do under Mikel Arteta, very big difference. Obviously, the Brentford are smaller side. They are always on the receiving end. But in terms of defensive work, Norgaard is a player we can rely on at Arsenal. As well, in terms of just, being that guy that, is a backup, an option. He's a reliable option. For me, he's a stronger player than Jorginho, and I definitely love him. Obviously, when you look at his build, he's a Mikel Arteta signing, he's a Mikel Arteta player. But for me, it's the experience that I am more interested in. It's the experience that he brings to Arsenal that I'm very, very much interested in. He's a player that Arsenal have signed to add to the experience that is lacking already. The leadership has been captain. At Brentford, he's been captain at Brentford as well. I think we are getting a lucky good signing, one that is not going to break the bank, one that is not going to get, a standing ovation from me. I'm not going to do a separate video welcoming Norgaard, but we've talked about the advantages of this signing, and if you don't see them, I am sorry, you're absolutely blind. There's so many advantages. There's so many good things to this deal. I was looking at the people at AFTV, and they were literally shouting to the camera, saying that this guy doesn't win you the league. And I'm like, every signing doesn't have to win you the league directly. This guy could be the guy in the backbone, in the background, doing the plumbing in the background for the team, for us to appreciate what we're gonna win come next season. So Norgaard, definitely you can watch his video, his welcome video on the Arsenal website and the Arsenal Twitter handle. You can also get all the interviews on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram of Arsenal Football Club. But for now, let's look at what Arsenal are planning next, because it is already in the pipeline. And next to the signing of Christian Norgaard, the fourth signing of the summer at Arsenal is going to be VIKTOR GYOKEREZ. Arsenal want VIKTOR GYOKEREZ to be the fourth signing of the summer. Now, this might be sabotaged a little bit with a couple of delays, and maybe Madueke deal progresses quicker, and maybe the Mascara deal progresses quicker, and maybe Eze progresses quicker. But Arsenal's full priority for fourth signing of the summer is set to be VIKTOR GYOKEREZ. What Arsenal want is to prepare medicals, put GYOKEREZ on medicals, announce him as the fourth signing of the summer, and then look at the budget they're left with after signing GYOKEREZ and see who can we afford, who can't we afford. And the deal is very, very advanced. Right from Sunday, we have been on the same page. We're getting news after news after news. But there are three things we can confirm. One, Arsenal have absolutely decided between the two strikers, Šeško and GYOKEREZ, and it's going to be GYOKEREZ. Number two, the player is not going back to training with Sporting. Number three, Arsenal are willing to do whatever it takes to put him on the plane and arrive at Arsenal. Remember, today is the 10th day of July. And Mikel Arteta said by the time it is 19th, we have Andre Barta has 8 days to deliver GYOKEREZ and the other signings that he's actually working on. And I will tell you, I am not panicking. We got reports today, this morning, from Abola, CNN Portugal, Record Portugal, Jogo Portugal, and a couple of others that GYOKEREZ was becoming difficult and Arsenal were willing to walk away and blah and blah and blah. But I'm going to tell you one or two things. One, Fabrizio has given us his word that the VIKTOR GYOKEREZ deal is going to happen at Arsenal 125%. The deal is actually going to happen. So apart from the Fabrizio update, I don't need to know about anyone else. Fabrizio says that this guy is going to be an Arsenal player, and I believe Fabrizio, and I know that Fabrizio is not lying. So whatever happens, I am sure GYOKEREZ is going to be an Arsenal player. Number two, why I think this deal is going to happen, Arsenal don't have options, okay? We don't have options, but also these guys at Sporting, they don't have options. Yes, Manchester United are interested in GYOKEREZ, but do they have the money? They might need to sell in order to buy him, but can they actually sell Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho? Have they really found potential buyers for these guys? They haven't. And so Sporting don't have so many options for this guy, and Arsenal also don't have so many options. I don't want to lie to you. I don't think Arsenal like having 6 options. We can't afford the wages of Osimhen. He's like earning about 400 plus a week. That is what the Turkish league can do to players. And then Šeško, we can't afford. Then Ekitike, we are told we can't afford. If you can't afford Šeško, you might not be able to afford Ekitike. It's either Arsenal go down and agree to pay the money Sporting want, or we go down a level and try to sign who is this guy? Watkins, right? And I don't want Watkins because I think this is a deal that we are past. Arsenal are past Watkins. Place for VIKTOR GYOKEREZ will be having his medicals next after Christian Norgaard, media duties after Christian Norgaard, and definitely will be the next signing after Christian Norgaard. And we hope that shirt number 14 will look good at the back of VIKTOR GYOKEREZ. But Arsenal are also still working on a couple of deals. Let's start off with the Rodrigo deal. Now, Arsenal have done more work than any other club on the Rodrigo deal, but Liverpool, just like Liverpool are always, stubborn, have poked their nose into our business on the Rodrigo deal. So stories today are coming in from Court of Side, The Mirror, and a couple of other sources that Liverpool are fearing they might lose Luis Diaz this summer. Luis Diaz has agreed personal terms with Bayern, and Bayern are setting, a bid in order to bid for him at Liverpool. Liverpool are saying we don't want to sell Luis Diaz, right? But if it so happens, right? Sorry about that, guys. Let's just continue. If it so happens that Luis Diaz goes to Bayern, then 120%, I think there's a very big possibility that Liverpool go for Rodrigo. And for me, it's genius work from Liverpool. Absolute genius work from Liverpool. You're getting Luis Diaz, whose contract's going to expire very soon. You sell him right? You sell him, you make some decent amount of money, you transfer that amount of money to Rodrigo, who is a much better player. Now, the problem with Rodrigo is that he doesn't want to play on the left-hand side. He wants to play on the right-hand side. Arsenal can offer him that opportunity to play on the right-hand side, but Liverpool can't because there is Mo Salah. So it's there. Now, Arsenal, like I said, have done more groundwork on this deal than any other team, than any other, outlet, right? So, are we going to get the Rodrigo deal done? Here is what we know today. Madrid have reached out to Xabi Alonso, and they've asked Xabi Alonso, are you going to use this guy? Are you going to keep him, or should we actually sell him this summer? Tell us, we want to know. And Xabi Alonso has told Real Madrid, I want you to sell Rodrigo. It is confirmed. Rodrigo is for sale. There is something that actually amused me. When he was asked about the future of Rodrigo and why he wasn't playing at the Club World Cup, Xabi Alonso, as manager, said he wasn't playing not because of his future, but he wasn't playing because we thought other players would do better. And which other players? Adagula, Endrick, who else? These other guys that nobody cares about. I think it is very clear that Rodrigo is going to be sold by Madrid. Al Nassr are there, but Fabrizio says the player is not interested in Al Nassr at any particular point in time. There are also other clubs as well that are interested in Rodrigo, but Fabrizio says he wants to play in the Premier League. That is his top priority, and then anywhere around Europe. So Bayern, I am surprised that Bayern are not dying to sign Rodrigo, and that maybe that's down to the fact that Rodrigo is specific. He wants to play on the left hand side. Sorry, on the left hand side. Sorry, and maybe Bayern are looking for a right winger, right? But let's see what's gonna come out of there. Rodrigo, according to the marker, the decision is already made, set in stone. He's gonna be sold this summer, no question about that. Arsenal interested, Bayern interested, Al Nassr interested, Liverpool interested. Let's see what is gonna come out of there. Now, after Christian Norgaard, Arsenal made a bid to Chelsea for Noni Madueke, and that was today as well. So Arsenal made a bid to Chelsea of 50 million, 45 million guaranteed, and there was also 5 in add-ons. And what actually amused me on this one is that Kudus went for the same price. It's like on the same day that Arsenal made an attempt to sign Noni Madueke for 50 million, Tottenham signed Mohamed Kudus for 50 million, right? So it looks like Arsenal are getting the bad deal at the same amount of money, and Tottenham are getting the good deal at actually the same amount of money. But regardless of that, we can confirm that Arsenal made a bid for Noni Madueke. Chelsea are saying they want more, but talks are ongoing, and the two clubs have a very, very good relationship. And then when it comes to Eberechi Eze, Jacob Steinberg, not Jacob Steinberg, but Ed Aarons at The Guardian has actually reported and said that right at the moment, Madueke will not affect Eberechi Eze. Arsenal are now progressing towards Eberechi Eze after making a bid for Noni Madueke. So that tells you that Madueke, Eze, and Gyökeres are the 3 attacking options that Arsenal absolutely want to add to the team. Maybe Eze on the left-hand side, maybe Madueke as a backup to Saka, and maybe Gyökeres as the number 9, being backed up by Kai Havertz. But what we can confirm today, again, with the Eberechi Eze deal, is that Arsenal want to pay in installments, 3 installments, which is 60 million, but they don't want to pay the 60 million as guaranteed. We want to pay 45 million in terms of the guaranteed fee, and then add-ons that could total the package to about 60 million euros. Crystal Palace are waiting for Arsenal's offer. Obviously, we don't have any green light for them, but if we get the green light from Crystal Palace, I'll definitely let you know. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the podcast. It's been a little bit dark, right? Subscribe to the channel. It's been a little bit dark, but like I said, regardless of what happens, we roll. See you soon.